Good evening, fellows. So today I'll start from structure drawing and pattern identification so that some of you guys can understand how we draw structure and how we identify patterns. So this is really important part. Okay, so I'll start from Paunyan, and my time frame is monthly. Yeah, so monthly time frame will give me a direction where market gonna go in the future. Yeah, once I'll draw my structure on this pair. So first of all, what I'll do, I'll identify higher high and lower lows on the chart and join them with trend lines. So these are the higher high and lows. Okay, I just join them with my trend lines. So I can see that price is running into these two trend lines. Okay, so now I'll zoom in my chart and I'll try to find small patterns within that bigger channel or bigger triangle or bigger descending triangle. Yeah, you can see this is look like bigger descending triangle because we haven't got enough data behind 94. Yeah, so I'll go into that and identify patterns. Okay, so here we got the corrective patterns look like falling wedge. Okay, you guys can see them. Yeah, it looks like falling wedge. We haven't got the data behind this. And next we can see that there was impulse, there was nice impulse. That impulse broken down, strong power. Yeah, we can see that. So bear with me. Yeah, so there was really strong impulse. That impulse broken down. So this pattern was trend reversal pattern. Okay, so price must go to that directions rather than going to the downside, but we haven't got enough data behind. So on which basis we can say that price must go to the upside. So we can see that price broken to the downside with strong impulse. Yeah, so and started to rise back with strong impulses. So we found that impulses, two impulses. Yeah, so just strong trend reversal. After that we can see price started to form something like expanding triangle. Yeah, something like expanding triangle. The pattern is really small because we are on monthly time frame. Once we're going to break down this time frame to the weekly, then we can see this pattern clearly. So we got the impulse, we got the trend continuation pattern, which was giving signal to us that that price going to continue to the upside. Okay, so we join these two higher high and lower lows. So we can see that something like ascending channel. Yeah, price was forming something like ascending channel. Price was running into that channel. Yeah, and once price hit the top, we can see that there was also forming nice bearish impulse. All right, and that bearish impulse broken down the ascending channel. Channel is also a trend reversal panel. Either it is ascending, descending. Yeah, so channel is trend reversal pattern. So once channel broken to the downside, strong impulse, we can see that price is just changing its direction to the downside. Yeah, and after that we can see price was forming a trend continuation pattern, something like triangle. Yeah, which is our trend continuation pattern. So we can see that after this impulse, price formed a trend continuation pattern and again broken down with strong impulse to the downside, giving a signal that price is going to continue to the downside. All right, so we can see that here at this point small candle was forming. Yeah, means bearish impulse was losing momentum. Once I'll go on lower time frame, we're gonna see there a reversal channel, which means we're gonna have a signal for the trend reversal. Price was going to reverse to the other direction. So once I go on the lower time frame, I'll show you that pattern. Yeah, so after that we can see that price rose back with strong candles, with strong impulse again. Yeah, and after that price formed a triangle. Again, that triangle was letting us know that price can break to the upside. All right, so can continue to the upside because we have an impulse on our left side, and behind that impulse we had the trend reversal channel. Yeah, at this point. So after that triangle we got the impulse. Yeah, again trend continuation, and after that we can see that again something like your channel or flag, which means price gonna break to the upside, broken with impulse. Yeah, and again started to fall aggressively to the downside, which means price gonna turn the trend again to the downside. Once I'll look at the lower time frame, I'll found a trend reversal pattern somewhere here on lower time frame. So I'll show you once I'll get on this point, I'll show you that pattern. Okay, so I can't see that pattern on this time frame because we had the monthly time frame, but definitely we're gonna see that trend reversal pattern on lower time frame. So we had the impulse. After that impulse we can see again trend continuation pattern. Okay, and price broken to the downside with strong impulse, mean trend continuation. All right, and again we can see that price was forming a trend reversal channel here at this point. You can see. Yeah, so but the candles are small here. We are on monthly time frame. Again we're gonna, when we're gonna get to the lower time frame, we will see that pattern clearly, that price was forming a trend reversal pattern, and after that formed something like triangle, but did not continue to the downside and also did not violate the impulse. Yeah, you can see impulse wasn't violated, did not close to the downside and started to rise to the upside. Reversal channel broken with impulse, formed trend continuation pattern but broken down, did not continue to the downside, but your impulse wasn't violated. Yeah, and started to rise back to the upside and formed a rising wedge, which is also a trend reversal pattern. Yeah, so it means price gonna get to the downside. All right, so I think I remove the boxes, then you're gonna get. What is your mean, Amir? I did not get that. You know, sometime your trend continuation pattern forms with the trend and with the indication. Sometime your trend continuation forms again with the trend but against the indication. All right, when they form against the indication, they more likely, you know, do not break with the trend. They can break against the trend. So this is really important. Yeah, when trend continuation pattern forms with the trend and with the indication, then they go with the trend, all right, and with the indication. But when they form with the trend but against the indication, they more likely, more likely break against the trend. This is really important. So you will get this formation many time. So for example, you had the trend continuation pattern on this time frame. Yeah, let me show you the example. You had the trend continuation pattern here at this point, and some of you guys were in the group were expecting that this pattern should break to the downside. So why this pattern did not break to the downside? Because it was forming against the indication, against your 4-hour time frame indication. So it was likely to break to the upside. And if you remember that I was expecting that price gonna come up to this level, and then we're gonna look for the downside. All right, so this pattern was forming against the indication. If you goes on to your lower time frame, you can see indication over there. So indication was against this formation. All right, so indication wasn't against this formation, this trend continuation pattern. Indication wasn't against this trend continuation pattern, this continuation pattern. All right, on your 4-hour time frame. So did you get what I mean, Amir? Did you understand? Yeah. All right. So when they form with the trend, with the indication, they more likely go with the trend and with the indication. But when they form with the trend but against the indication, then they more likely to break against the trend, not with the trend. All right. So these are the small, small patterns which I found on this. Yeah. Now let me look at the what was the bigger pattern here at this point. So we can see it was look like triangle. Yeah. So you can see it was forming look like triangle. We found that triangle price was running into the triangle. All right. So I was saying that when trend continuation pattern forms with the trend, let me give you an example so that you guys can understand. All right. So for example, we can see that price was rising in strong impulse to the upside in bullish trend, and we had the flag, yeah, flag, which is trend continuation pattern. So flag was trend continuation pattern, and we can see on our indicator, for example, you are using your like like RSI, for example, you are using, yeah. So price was running, so RSI was oversold here. You had impulse, price was running to the upside very strongly, and price was here at this point, I mean overbought, yeah. And you had trend continuation pattern, and if you are looking to buy here at this point or somewhere here and expecting that price gonna break to the upside, forming a break up with the trend continuation pattern, with the trend, then it is more likely that this pattern gonna break to the downside and do not continue to the upside with the trend, because your indication showing you that price gonna reverse to the downside. All right, so this pattern is against the indication, this trend continuation pattern forming against the indication. Okay, so you will see more traders chart, they say buy the breakout or sell the breakout, and many times their buy or sell breakout do not work. So why their buy and sell breakout do not work all the time? The reason is they are expecting buy against the indication. or sell against the indication. So their trend continuation pattern forming against the indication. Yeah, so they are buying or selling against the indication. They are expecting that trend continuation pattern gonna break to the with the trend. Yeah, so how we look for that? We Let me draw the whole structure again, yeah, so that you guys can understand really well. So you will see this problem with those traders who are looking to buy with the trend with a breakout or sell breakout. Yeah, usually they are buying or selling against the indication. So we had the trend continuation pattern formation. Yeah, so we were expecting that price is running into the flag, corrective flag, and price gonna break to the upside. Yeah, we can see that, and at the same time we can see that on our indicator like your RSI. Yeah, price was overbought, and once price gonna show you oversold, and also your indicator, your chart or and your trend continuation pattern show you that price is just about to break, and your indicator also showing the same picture. Yeah, okay, so this pattern is forming with the trend. This pattern is forming with the trend. Yeah, so this pattern more likely gonna break with the trend to the upside. All right, this pattern more likely gonna break to the upside because this pattern forming with the indication. Your indication and your pattern both are into same direction, and the first one which I have shown you, that was against the indication. Okay, and that pattern more likely gonna break to the downside. This is a really important information. Yeah, and some of experienced guys, they also don't know about this information. So let me give you an example for this. Yeah, so that so Amar, what do you mean? I did not get that. Would you repeat that, please? So we can see that, yeah, price was rising with strong impulse. Yeah, okay, so here we got the, for example, we are using RSI as our indicator. Yeah, so here we got the example. Yeah, a really strong impulse. Yeah, and price just correcting against the impulse. Yeah, and at the same time you can see on indicator your indicator was showing you that price is just showing you oversold condition or your RSI. So this pattern is with the indication. Okay, this pattern is with the indication. I hope you get the point. So this pattern more likely gonna break to the upside. Reason, this pattern is with the indication. So did you understand? Yeah, now clearly. Yeah, you can see here as well. when pattern form with the trend, okay, and with the indication, more likely gonna break with the indication and with the trend. And when your pattern form against the indication and but with the trend, and it can break to the other direction, because that pattern more likely gonna be against the indication. So let me show you one more example. So here was the trend continuation pattern. Yeah, you can see it was you can see then, yeah, once the indication was showing that price has just tested the low and continued to the upside, but did not break to the upside somewhere from this point, all right, or somewhere here at this point, because at that time your indication wasn't favorable and wasn't with the trend, it wasn't yeah, with the favorable with the pattern. Continuation pattern, when trend continuation pattern was forming, and at that time our indicator wasn't showing any favorable position, yeah, something like that price gonna break to the upside from this point. So once you are from this point, yeah, once your indicator was showing you favorable condition, then broke to the upside, yeah, by testing 50% to your impulse, then continue to the upside. So this is the important information and was a really important point, so you need to understand. I hope you got that, yeah. When trend continuation pattern form with the trend and with the indication, they're gonna break with the trend. When they form with the trend but against the indication, more likely they're gonna break against the trend. So here we got the impulse and trend continuation pattern, something like channel, yeah, so something like channel again, the whole pattern was a falling wedge, which is also a trend reversal pattern, all right. And after that we can see that reversal pattern, price rose back to the upside with strong impulse, broken with the strong impulse, and here we got the indication as well that price has just rising to the upside with strong impulse, and after that we can see price formed a correction. Okay, so this is the structure drawing and pattern identification, yeah. And after that we seen a triangle, something like again triangle here, and we can see that price was forming a channel, ascending channel, which is also a trend reversal pattern. So when that channel broke into the downside, price started to fall down with strong impulse. Okay, so this is how we draw structure, yeah, this is how we draw structure, and we how we identify patterns. And the other technique, let me show you that technique as well, yeah. So this is the first technique which we use. Yeah, we identify every single pattern and every single wave. So we do not just rely on correction impulse. Yeah, so we identify every single wave. So some of let me let me show you the other technique for drawing structure and for pattern. Yeah, what some traders do, they identify high low on their indicator. Yeah, they identify high low their indicator, and they join that high low with the trend line, and they call that this structure. This is their structure. Yeah, okay. So they do something like this. Yeah, so they use MACD for their structure drawing. They identify high low on their chart and identify high low on their indicator, and then just connect them with the trend line. Yeah, so this is how some of traders do this. So you can see this technique is also being used. All right, so this is how they do that, and they count waves using their MACD as well. Yeah. I'm drawing my trend lines on MACD just for letting you know that, okay, how they connect. All right, so just identify high low on their indicator and connect that high lows on their chart and predict the next wave into that structure. And you can see that, yeah, here for example at this point MACD was showing that price not gonna go up from this point and gonna divide to the downside, and even price can break through this line. Yeah, this line can break through this line, and once break to the downside it can go further to the downside like this. Yeah, and MACD was also showing that if breaks down then it can go further to the downside. Also price was falling aggressively with strong impulse to the downside. Also you can get that indication from your indicator as well, right? So this approach is lagging approach. Lagging mean in your MACD gonna let you know where is your reversal point and at which point your price gonna reverse. So we use for some leading indicators for that. Leading indicator is gonna let us know that where our reversal point is, and we use leading and lagging approach to get our reversal point as early as we can, so that we can get into the market on time. You guys know that our indications, our leading indicators let us know that price is just going to reverse from the reversal point, but our lagging indicator says that no, price is not going to break from that reversal point. It is just going to break through that point and can continue to the upside or downside. All right, so we use these two approaches, like leading and lagging. So here we got the structure on our monthly time frame. Now I look at that structure on weekly time frame. Yeah, I can see that price was rising correctively, can break to the downside, broken down with strong impulse, continue to the downside, again formed corrective pattern, break to the downside, again formed corrective pattern, break to the downside with strong impulse. All right, and was rising with strong impulse to the upside. Yeah, and formed a trend continuation pattern like triangle again, and break through that triangle to the upside again, formed an expanding triangle, yeah, and break that expanding triangle to the upside, and just pushing with the strong impulses to the upside, formed something like rising wedge broken down to the downside, a trend reversal pattern. All right, formed a reversal channel at the bottom, broken out with that reversal channel, strong impulse and correction back, continue to the upside, forming a trend continuation pattern. You can see that, yeah? And again form a sharp correction back to the downside against the impulse, broken out, continue to the upside. All right, so we can see price broken down with strong impulse to the downside, this corrective impulse to the downside, yeah, and broken down, something like we can see a trend continuation pattern on the trend line, broken down with strong impulse, continue to the downside, form the trend triangle continuation pattern, continuing to the downside, formed a trend reversal pattern, yeah, falling wedge, broken up, correction back, continue to the upside, flag, broken up, continue to the upside, again reverse, again you can see a channel like flag. In that channel we can see there was corrective flag as well, broken out with strong impulse, continue to the upside, yeah? Here I was saying that something like reversal pattern, like your ascending broadening wedge, yeah? This is your trend reversal pattern, broken down, tested, going to the downside, look like a triangle, breakdown, strong impulse, continue to the downside, reversal channel, broken up, retested with sharp impulse, and formed a triangle, broken down. Okay, so we can see something like a reversal channel here as well, again break up, continue to the upside. So this is the cycle, market repeat again, and again. So we can identify those patterns using our trend lines. Here we got the again, yeah, trend continuation patterns. Okay, we can see that price was broken down this trend line with strong impulse and formed like trend continuation pattern to the downside. Okay, so running into the rising wedge correctively, which means gonna break to the downside very soon. All right. Yeah. So we can see there wasn't a strong momentum into this rising wedge. So broken down with strong impulse, again formed trend continuation pattern, continue to the downside. Trend continuation pattern, trend continuation pattern to the downside. Again trend continuation pattern, downside. Alright, so trend reversal pattern, broken up with strong impulse and correction back. Strong impulse to the upside, continuation, yeah. Here is the continuation, continuation. Okay, so this is how we identify patterns, trend continuation patterns and trend reversal patterns. So if we look at this, so it also seems like trend reversal pattern, like right here, and also we got the channel broken down, retested and continue to the downside. So let me look at the daily so that I can go through the daily as well quickly. So on daily I'll go just on the current price. Yeah, I'll not go back and look at the every single pattern. I'll just go at this point. Alright, so we can see that price broken down that channel, then retested, then continue to the downside. Okay, so once we had the impulse, strong impulse, we can see strong impulse, and after that impulse we had the again trend continuation pattern. All right, and that trend continuation pattern broken down to the downside with strong impulse. All right, so again we can see price was just forming impulses going to the downside. Here we can see that price is just losing momentum. Yeah, its bearish momentum is just going to end here at this point. At this point you can see, and we can see price is just rising with aggressive moves back to the upside. Yeah, which are the bullish strong candles, bullish strong impulses. So let's draw the ending diagonal is your trend reversal pattern. We call that ending diagonal is rising wedge or falling wedge. Okay, ending diagonal and the rising and falling wedges also same. Yeah, they are both are trend reversal pattern. So the bigger structure is something like this. So I'm not expecting price gonna get to the downside and test this trend line. Yeah, it's just for your structured drawing. Yeah? So here we can see some patterns. Yeah, here's your reversal channel or ascending broadening wedge, which means price gonna reverse to the downside really soon. All right, and again once price hit to your trend line here at this point, again price form the same pattern, okay, which we just had at this point. Let me show you again. You can see that, yeah. And again here at this point price form the same pattern, which is your trend reversal pattern. Okay, so this pattern can be seen clearly on your lower time frame, like your 4-hour time frame. So these are the pattern, yeah, and structure at the current price level, current market level. So we can see that price has just lost momentum to the downside, and rising aggressively to the upside. Also, our indications are really strong at this point. Indications are really strong at this point. At this point, indications are really strong. Indications are saying that price gonna reverse to the upside. If our indication neutral somewhere here at this point, okay, so our indication gonna be neutral at this point somewhere here, and we see nice price action here, nice bearish price action at this point. This is just my expectation, yeah. When I see my indicators, then I realize that my indicators gonna be exhausted at somewhere at this point. They're gonna show me at this point that price is not going to rise furthermore to the upside. All right, so then we will decide either we gonna continue to the downside or not. All right, so at this point we're gonna see price action something like this, yeah, something like this at this point. If we see these kind of price action here on our lower time frame, like your 4-hour or 1-hour, then we will decide either we should continue to the downside or not. At the moment our indications are really strong and they are saying that price is just going to reverse to the upside, yeah. But we we had the channel. We can see that we have the channel. This channel is also a trend reversal pattern, and that channel has broken out. All right, channel is also a reversal pattern, and that channel has broken out. You can see at this point violated. So these are the respected levels where the channel was being respected every time when it was getting close to the trend line, that bearish trend line, and at this time it has violated. All right, so once price gonna come close up to this level, if we see some nice price action like this, right, at this point, then we can see rise to the upside. And if we don't see price action something like impulses, bullish impulses at this point, then it is really possible that price gonna break to the downside, right? But we will look at the indications. What are the indications at this point gonna be in the future, yeah. If we goes into the lower time frame, we can see there that we had the same pattern at this point, yeah, which is our trend reversal pattern, and we were expecting that price gonna break to the downside and broken down, yeah. So we were expecting sell setup here at this point, early entry setup based on impulse, based on trend continuation pattern, and we are still having a trend continuation pattern here at this point. We can see really strong impulse, but this Amir here again, okay, this trend continuation pattern is forming against your indication, okay, this pattern forming against your indication gonna be neutral somewhere here at this point. That's the reason I drew my trend line at this point and send that chart in the group. Some of you guys trying to sell at this point and expecting that this is trend continuation pattern and gonna break to the downside. It can break to the downside, all right, but our risk-free entry or nice entry or with the trend entry or with the indication entry gonna be here at this point. Same like that, when price broken down this wedge and some of you guys sold here and price came down and just retest and then continue to the downside and rise back to the upside, and when price was somewhere here at this point, I told you that our reversal point gonna be here at this point, all right. So same like that, so try to sell at this point. If price come close to this point and test your trend line, then look for sell here, just placing your stop loss behind that structure. Yeah, this is your experience, so this thing you're gonna learn with the time, yeah. I mean, how to read your indications on all your time frame, and how you need to read your impulse and your correction with your indication, okay. So at least your one or two indicators gonna show you that you can sell at this point if price come up to this level, all right. Okay, so then look for sell to the downside, and remember again, I focus more than any other thing on just one thing, that identify your impulse and your correction correctly. Okay, if price rise aggressively, then don't try to sell at this point. Correctively, then look for sell. You already got some nice profit into this trade, yeah. So don't try to lose that back into the market. Once price come close to your point where you are looking to sell, then sell. Okay, if market does not come close to your entry point, then let it go. You know, don't take risk without any reason. Okay, so the okay, so this is how we draw structure, yeah. We identify every single pattern, what pattern is there, what kind of wave is there, either it is corrective wave correctly running or forming or impulsively forming, yeah. We identify them and then we decide either it is going with the trend using our indication or against the trend using our indication, yeah. This is the last idea on this pair, yeah. So you can see price just tested that point and started to fall down because our pattern was going to complete over there. If you don't know what pattern was there, how you can identify that price gonna reverse from that point? How you can expect that price gonna reverse from that point? Because our pattern was going to complete at this point. That's the reason I was expecting that price gonna break to the downside, and at least price is just half away of this wave. All right, you can see that, yeah. And you guys remember that I shared the picture in the group when price was forming a trend continuation pattern on 1 hour time frame, and we sold that as well, broken down to the downside. Right, so this is our pattern which we identify on our past data. And if we don't know what pattern is there and where this pattern gonna complete, then how we gonna place our trade? Yeah, so draw your structure correctly, identify your pattern correctly. Okay, and remember, always you have a bigger structure, bigger pattern on your screen, and you're gonna see small patterns within that bigger pattern. Yeah, you can see we had the ascending broadening wedge, and within that ascending broadening wedge, price was running into a ascending channel. Okay, so I hope this gonna help you. Yeah, if you will see my chart, so it looked like very messy and a lot of trend lines over there, and you can't see what's going on there on my chart. But once you go onto your lower time frame, you will realize that I found every single pattern and every single impulse. You see, impulse do not form any pattern. Impulse just run into this straight away, or into this straight direction. Correction form the patterns. Always correction form the patterns. We identify those patterns. Either they are trend continuation pattern, or either they are trend reversal pattern. If they are trend reversal pattern, and we knew already that where our trend reversal pattern gonna complete. For example, if we had the reversal channel, I give example again and again of this pattern because this pattern forms commonly, yeah. And yeah, we had the reversal channel, and we knew this reversal channel only forms when we have the divergence on our time frame, on our indicators, yeah. And these are the ranges where this reversal channel completes. And if price rising correctly to the upside, then we already knew that this pattern completes here, and we can see this impulsive wave to the downside. And if we don't know the structure and the pattern correctly, what structure is there and what pattern formation is there, then we can't expect that our pattern gonna complete here. All right, so these two first rules are really important. Draw your structure correctly and identify your pattern correctly. Either it is reversal or trend continuation with the trend. So some of you guys are really good, going to be good in drawing, and now they can realize that what pattern is there. And let me give you the example. Yeah, you can see this how nicely this guy identified this pattern. I wasn't expecting that from this guy, from Amir. Yeah, he knew price is just forming a trend reversal pattern, and if this pattern break to the downside and we are just chasing this this pair since very long, yeah, because this pair gonna give us really nice trade to the downside. So this is how you need to identify your impulse correctly, and what pattern is there, identify that pattern correctly. Either this pattern is continuation pattern, or this pattern is reversal pattern. All right, so you can use your indications, yeah, with your pattern. Also you can see there is divergence also on your moving MACD, yeah. So the wave gonna come is to the downside, yeah. Your indicator is also showing that wave is gonna come to the downside. All right, so this is how you need to do as well. Identify your structure and pattern correctly, and you can use your indication with them, and you can get the idea where market gonna go into the future. You can predict, yeah. So any question? Any question, guys? Let me know if you have any question, please, so that we can go through that question, please. I hope you are doing well, Leels. You're gonna get better day by day, yeah. So these two things are really important, yeah. Some of you guys are still struggling these two rules, yeah. So these two rules are really important. How you draw your structure and how you identify your patterns. Okay, if you identify your patterns and draw structure correctly, great, you are doing well, yeah. So here is this Sonali. We can see that a triangle, yeah, which is trend continuation pattern, but it is forming against the trend or against the indication. All right, so this can break to the upside, and if so, here your indication gonna complete, and also price will test your trend line and gonna continue to the downside. All right, Sonali, I hope you got the answer, yeah. You can see rising with strong impulses. All right, so the best entry gonna be here. We not gonna look for a sell breakout or sell something like that. We are not looking to sell breakout just by placing our stop loss here. We will look sell here, and if price breaks down to the downside, that's really good. We sold here. Some of you guys here, some of you guys sold this breakout, some of you guys sold this impulse, yeah. So it is doing really well. Yeah, so any other question? So only your structure gonna tell you where your indication and your pattern gonna complete. So if you are unable to draw your your structure and your pattern correctly, then how you gonna place trade on the right place? Yeah, let me show you the picture when dollar yen was rising. I have shown this picture already, some of you guys, if you remember, and if some of those who don't remember, this is just for them, yeah. See, I knew pattern complete here at this point. I can see that price was running into the pattern, yeah, into the ascending pattern. So once price hit this point, we again look for the sell. All right, this was the point. This was the sell area. So there is for one or two more pictures on this pair. Let me look at them as well. So this is how you can identify your sell or your buy place. Okay, so you can get the idea just by drawing your structure. You see, my line was saying that price can retest, price can test this point, this zone, and can fall back to the downside. And once price hit that point, I was looking for price action. So once I see a nice impulse and I saw my indications are favorable, then I sold there, just placing our stop loss behind. Okay, so I can see that price gonna reverse to the downside because the pattern is trend reversal pattern, not a trend continuation pattern to the upside. So this is just one example, yeah. So you guys know that. So we had a lot of examples like this, and we share those examples every day in our group. So identify your pattern correctly. And how you gonna identify your pattern correctly? Just by drawing your structure and drawing your lines. Here my next cell setup may form, yeah, this point, at this point. If price come close to this point correctively, then I look for sell to the downside again. All right, any other question, Sonali? Is it okay? Any other question, please? I hope you guys understand now perfectly. That's great. So thank you very much for being with me, guys. So it was really good today, yeah. So really good learning session, good meeting today, yeah. So those who are new in the group, so please try to use this, try to focus on this, yeah. This thing is really important. Right, so identify your impulse, correction, pattern, and draw structure correctly. Yeah. All right, so thank you very much for being with me, guys.